Well guys, I think it's time we talk about the W word. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. I headed up to Minnesota, got to go on the freeway system, saw that everybody out there is absolutely nuts. So I get what you guys are going through. Although I didn't have the big 18-wheeler, but still, from my minivan, people were nuts. Anyways, so it's time we talk about the W word. And of course, I'm talking about winter, okay? Some of you have already been caught in some snow, some ice, some high winds. It's here, guys. We're in December already. I know I have no clue what happened to our fall, but we are in winter. So with that, there's a couple things that we need to talk about, and then we're actually going to watch a dash cam video. I know some people have been upset that we haven't done dash cam video the last couple of weeks. I've had some other stuff we need to talk about, but we'll get back into it here. So, but winter, okay, it's here. Make sure, if you haven't done so yet, when you're back to Rockford, make sure that you get aggregate. It's on the, what would that be? The south side of the building? That'd be south side? Yeah, south side of the building. If you don't know where it is, come find me or talk to someone in the shop. Make sure you have chains, okay, in your trucks. Even if you don't really plan on using them, make sure you have them in case you have to go west. Chain laws are out there right now. Also, make sure you're doing a little bit more double checking with your fluids and all that kind of stuff. As you know, stuff tends to freeze a little bit in the winter time. And so make sure that your fluids are good, okay? Make sure that your fuel is fuller, I guess we could say, yeah. You know, just so that it doesn't get slushy. If you need to add additive, we have that at the shop as well, or you can get some out there. If you need diesel 911, you're in trouble. So basically the rule of thumb is put additive in it to keep it from gelling. Put in diesel 911 if you've already gelled, okay? If you have questions about that, make sure you contact the shop, okay? Those guys are really knowledgeable about that stuff. They can help you out with it. But if it's getting really cold where you're at, make sure you put some of that additive in and keep that fuel nice and liquidy. Is that the word? Liquidy, fluid, whatever. So yeah. Also, here's another reminder that the shop asked me to pass on to you guys and ladies. DEF, okay, the DEF that goes into the trucks. Make sure that you do not fill that thing up to 100%, okay? If you fill it up to 100%, the pumps and sensors and everything can break with the being cold. So keep it at about 80. Don't fill it up past 80%, okay, with your DEF. That would help out a lot. Also, just like I said, make sure that when you're doing pre-trips, you're looking at like glad hand seals. Make sure that you're getting rid of snow that you can. You know, snow buildup around the tires and wherever. Try to scrape all that off if you can. You know, here we go. We're coming into winter. Again, though, make sure you get some aggregate. Make sure you get some chains. Make sure that you know where you're going, okay? Make sure you know what's in store for you, where you're going. We're running a lot out east now, up into the New York area and even western Pennsylvania. Lake effect snow, guys. It's out there and it comes down quick and heavy. So make sure you know where you're going and make sure you know what the forecast is. If you have questions about that, please get a hold of me, okay? So, but yeah, like I said, winter's here. Let's be ready for it. If you have questions about what you need, let me know. Talk to the guys in the shop, okay? Like I said, they're very knowledgeable about that stuff, so feel free to reach out to them as well. But let's get ready for winter. We'll have a successful winter season. We'll be back in spring before you know it. Just got to get through this little piece. So anyways, now let's take a look at some dash cam. Actually, it's not even dash cam video. Let's take a look at some video of kind of what to do when you face ice. Okay, so here's some video. I don't know exactly if it's from like a traffic camera or if someone saw this or whatever, but it's not dash cam, it's not our vehicle. Okay, this is actually a video that Mr. Meiborg sent to me and said this would be a good one to watch, kind of what to do and when you get onto some slippery roads, which again, some of you have experienced that already. So let's take a look at this and kind of walk through it here. So as we can see, we have hit ice, and this truck is fighting for his life basically right now. This is the tricky stuff, is black ice. You know, when it's not very obviously icy, this is when it could get you the most. And when you see big traffic jams in front of you, obviously that's a good indicator that there's going to be some ice around there. So this driver did a good job. Again, I don't know who it is, but did a really good job of not panicking. Okay, that's always kind of the big one to do. When you see yourself in a situation like this, the first thing to do is to not panic. Okay, now obviously with winter driving, we want to make sure we're leaving much more room in front of us. Okay, I think the rule of thumb is, like, when it's raining, we want to leave twice as much space as we normally would. When it's snowing, we want to leave 3 times as much, and when it's ice, 4 times or even more. And I know sometimes, I get it, sometimes it's tough to figure out if it's icy out, but you guys have been driving a long time. You kind of know the conditions. You know, that whole saying, in fact, who was it? Someone was in my office the other day, and they said the saying that I've heard a million times: if there's spray, you're okay. You know, if there's spray coming off tires, that usually means that the roads are okay, they're just wet. But if there's cars driving by you and it's a wet condition and there's nothing coming off the tires, you better believe that that's going to be a fairly slippery road. So, as we can see with this vehicle, he doesn't panic. The other thing he doesn't do is he doesn't slam on the brakes. He doesn't keep riding the brakes. You can see he's not on the brakes for good chunks of this thing because he is trying to straighten this thing out. Now, I don't know. The driver obviously was a very good driver, didn't hit anything. There was, I believe, in my opinion, some luck that came involved with this for not hitting anything. But as we can see here, he didn't slam on the brakes, because if he did, he would have jackknifed that thing, probably turned it around. But you can see once he kind of gets control of the vehicle, he lets off the brakes and drives that thing straight, tries to straighten that thing out. And you can see he, towards the end there, he gets it straightened out. Now it looks like he's kind of running towards that Jersey barrier, but he actually is getting control of that vehicle and getting it slowed down. So the biggest thing when you're facing a situation like this is do not make any sudden movements. If you feel that trailer start to go, don't slam on the brakes and crank it the other way or crank it whatever. Just ease into everything, okay? You know this. You've probably done it in cars. If you've never done it like this, you've probably done it in your car where you felt that back end start to go, and you just, if you slam on the brakes, when you feel that back end going, you're going right around. Ask me how I know that, because I did that once when I was 16. Came into a small town, hit the brakes, felt my back end go. What I do? Slammed on the brakes, and right around I went. Same thing here, guys. So make sure that you're not doing any sudden movements. No sudden turns of the wheel, no slamming on the brakes. Just, if you feel that back end start going, just ease off. You can hit the brakes like this guy has done, but try to get control of that thing. Don't make any sudden movements. Just kind of let that thing go and just guide it, okay? Now, again, came close to that wall. He got pretty lucky on this, but there is a lot of skill involved in this as well. So the biggest takeaway with this, don't make any sudden movements, okay? Feel that trailer going, ease off. Everything with ease. I know your adrenaline is going to be going extremely high, but just try to take it easy, okay? That's the biggest thing. Lightly hit the brakes if you need to. Get that thing straightened out. Get control of that vehicle, and hopefully, you'll have as much room as this driver did that you can slow down. So, anyways, guys, be careful out there. Okay. Again, some of you have already hit snow. Some of you we're all gonna face it. Okay. That's just the nature of driving. So, be very careful out there. If the conditions are getting so bad that you don't feel safe, then shut her down, okay? We're in trucking, okay? We're not here to risk our lives to make for all this stuff. Like, if it's bad, shut her down, okay? Now, if you're saying it's bad and you shut it down and every one of our trucks is driving past you, we might have some questions, okay? But if it's a bad situation, ride it out. If you find yourself in this kind of situation, no sudden movements. try to remain calm, ease off the throttle, ease the brake a little bit. You know, you just have to play around with it. There's no perfect situation that I could say do this and then it'd be fine. You're gonna have to feel it out, okay? So, but I know you guys can do it. You're good drivers. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, whatever, feel free to get a hold of me. My contact information is at the bottom. And I say it every time. And guys, I mean it in the summer, I mean it in the spring, I mean it in the fall, and I especially mean it in the winter. Make sure that when you're out there, you drive safe.